Okay, let's talk. So y'all know that Donald Trump has basically been going on a tirade with the writing of executive orders, and one in particular that he seems to be focused on is DEI. And one common mistake that you'll see people make is they assume that DEI hires the person that gets the job. They assume that that person is unqualified. Not so. All this is just recognizing that someone that might necessarily be looked past when it comes down to the hiring process or the opportunity process, you take that person into consideration a bit more as opposed to your normal access patterns. And I say access patterns, you could also say opportunity because it's not just about jobs. You can relay this exact same message when it comes down to school. But sticking with jobs, let's use an example. If you have 499 green people, and you need one more hire because you want to round out the numbers to make it even 500, showing up with a resume in hand, you have 20 more green people, and then one red guy shows up. All of them qualified equally. All this is saying is you have quite a few green people. Why not hire the red person? When they said people were genuinely voting against their own best interest, I really didn't know how serious it was. So based on the information provided, when it comes down to DEI, Caucasian women actually took up the majority of the positions filled, especially when it came down to higher positions. So there's a couple of videos that I actually wanted to go through with you guys because it almost seems like people are voting against their best interest. So when Donald Trump was talking about DEI hires, and that's something that he wants to eliminate, needless to say, a very large population of the people that voted for him are now feeling the effects.
Damn!
This lady from Florida, apparently she's experiencing some regret with her vote anyway, so you know what, let her tell it.
Yeah, we voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. We live in the Florida Panhandle, and we thought that this would be good for our business, but we're finding out now that we were wrong, and I want to publicly say that we are regretting our votes at this point. My husband and me own a construction company, and we literally do not have workers anymore. Most of our workers are from Mexico, and they're good, hard workers. I talked to a few of them, and they said they were just too scared to come back to work because of all the raids. Our construction company is likely to go out of business now, and we don't know what we're going to do, but we're never voting for a Republican again. Ron DeSantis and Trump have been passing laws that negatively affect our business, and I just want to say that I'm sorry for voting for him. I grew up Republican, and it's all I've ever known, but now I can see that me and my whole family have been very wrong about this. So we hope that 2026 comes and we can take back the House and the Senate and stop him from what he's doing. There's a special election coming up in Matt Gaetz's district, and we're going to do everything we can to advocate for a Democrat taking that seat.
This is probably one of the only reasons that I have a hard time believing that these things are actually genuine, because now she says that we're going to do everything at 2026. She says now we're going to do everything in our power to take back Congress. Ma'am, the side you voted for has Congress. So unless she's now a reformed Democrat, I don't know what she's talking about. How did you not know that this was the move? This is just one of those times where I could actually say Donald Trump was very, very clear about his intentions. He told everyone, if you were listening, he told everyone what his plan was. There's a certain kind of immigrant that he wanted in the country, but that's mainly for business reasons. You saw him when he was talking about the H-1B visas. That's where that whole controversy came up in the first place. When it came down to people that just do regular general labor, he doesn't care about them.
We're supposed to help our people!
Well, they work. Well, you're taking an American's job. But they have a house. Yeah, the house can go to an American. The immigrant has kids in school. That kid that's in school is taking up the school position of an American. And then there's this guy who apparently is having MAGA regrets.
Man, I can't believe I have to say this, but I'm no longer rocking with Trump. Dude, I was the first Gen Zer to support Trump. I definitely preferred him in 2016 and to some degree 2020. I was with Trump for 9 straight years, 2016 to today. I didn't vote for him in 2024, actually, thank God. But what happened between me and the employee who told me about the new policy change for giving free water, man, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now. We would have been way better off with J.D. Vance or Butch Ware or Candace Owens, but we got Trump, and we know Trump for who he is. He's a corporate shill. He's imposed tariffs. That's not a conservative move. That's not even a nationalist or imperialist move. That's worse than imperialist. It's a feudalist neocon move.
And then, of course, there's this montage of Trump voters experiencing instant regret after some of the policies that Trump talked about that he was going to do. he actually starts to do.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now. I'm no longer rocking with Trump.
I used to be a MAGA Republican, and now I've turned blue. And it makes me emotional to know that I ever fucking stood by idly and blind and let that shit happen.
Because I know that I have been a Trump supporter, and I can no longer say that I am MAGA. And
I regret my vote for Trump.
I voted for Trump. I'm done. I don't have any more resilience in me.
So everyone remembers Caroline Leavitt when she was talking about DEI and rolling back some of the mandates that were in place.
Who has spent many years. If you are an American who has spent many years studying aviation, and you graduate from school and you're an air traffic controller based on skill and merit, and then you apply for a job and you're forced to fill out a biographical questionnaire asking you the color of your skin and asking you where you're from in details that aren't relevant at all to the job description, I think that deteriorates the morale of people in this industry.
What I find crazy about all that, and tell me if you notice that, but it's a common mistake that people make when they think about DEI or even affirmative action, naturally, they think black.
Now he's a philosophizer.
So just like affirmative action, according to all the reports that I've seen, one of the major beneficiaries of DEI has actually been Caucasian women.
What?
They've benefited the most from these programs.
The real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The #1 recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. #1 recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. #2 are Asian Americans. #3 are Native Americans. #4, individuals with disability. #5, veterans.
Damn.
Okay.
Where y'all at? Way down.
LGBTQ plus community.
Goodness.
And guess who comes last?
Way down at the bottom.
At receiving DEI benefits. Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans. Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see
I did.
The primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most.
So maybe this is just me, but I found it wildly hilarious that when you talk about Trump voting regret, either job loss, he's rolling back DEI programs, but now you come down to Venezuelans that are actually complaining. When Venezuelans were one of the top groups that actually voted for Donald Trump, they were adamantly happy about this. If you remember, they made a whole song for Donald Trump. In all honesty, it was actually kind of catchy. I love listening to it. At some point in time, you have to recognize that reality is going to sink in. I mean, take a look for yourself. You can't tell me that when you hear that song, you don't just feel like dancing. However,
Press conference in Doral Monday, Venezuelan Americans denounced the Trump administration and South Florida Republicans.
More than betrayed. Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
to believe that he would say that he's not going to touch documented people. Did you hear the amount of people that he said he wanted to deport? If you do the math, the only way you could make those numbers is if you touch the documented people. What did he say? We have 13,000 murderers running the streets right now, right? You remember that? Then on top of that, he would say, we have a few million illegals. What people don't pay attention to is when Donald Trump adamantly said, we are going to begin the largest deportation ever seen before. You know who had the record for the largest deportation? Bill Clinton and President Obama. In order for him to make the numbers that they reached, he would have to touch the documented. This is where you read between the lines. These are all questions that you should have asked and you should have gotten it in writing, but you took his word for it.
This is so crazy that we voted for Trump. We trust him with the word that he promised us Latinos. This is crazy that starting next week, multiple cities will be hitting immigration. That is so crazy that multiple...
This was just after the inauguration. So when she's talking about next week, it's already started. So this is why people are afraid to go to work. They're afraid to go to school. They're afraid to send their kids to school. That's a nice piano riff. I like that.
Scared to go to work. Where I work at, a lot of Latinos did not go to work. And that's crazy because we have a living too.
Together, huh? You know what? Let me not say anything. I just want to show you guys some of those clips. I found some of them to be very informative, especially when it comes down to the idea of people voting against their own best interests. Normally, you would think that people would vote for stuff that would actually benefit them, but still waiting on those eggs. No, groceries. That's the word that he won on. Groceries. Let me know what it is that you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. Peace, y'all.
Beyond betrayed. They used us.